Hey everyone, so the title of this video is called Observation versus Value Statement. And I first heard about this from William P. Young, who wrote the book The Shack. He was, visiting this one church and he was giving, details about his life and what he has been through. And so when he mentioned about observation versus a value statement, I thought it would be something that could be beneficial to not only my walk, but yours as well. So, looking up the word observation in the dictionary, it says the action or process of observing something or someone in order to gain information. Now, I tried looking up value statement and I couldn't find a definition, so I tried to come up with one myself. And I put what we truly believe about ourselves. Now, there are ways in order to do certain tasks. I mean, you're washing dishes, you're going to have your own way of doing it. But I mean, if you have a job and there's a certain way you got to do a task, you have to do it to the letter. Otherwise, you're going to mess up. So perhaps, with many other tasks, there is a right and a wrong way of doing it. And, I'm not sure what jobs you have to uh, do it a certain way, or you could screw up and then, you would probably get in trouble for that. So, I mean, it's understandable with some jobs that you have a certain way of doing it, but, something like washing dishes or drying dishes or something like that, I mean, you got your own way of doing it. But, William P. Young was giving his testimony about his life, and I don't want to get into it. You could probably see these videos at the very bottom of mine. I had posted them, and I think they're really good. And I think it would be something that, could really be beneficial for you. But, he was talking about his woundedness and what he had been through. And I think he was doing a task with his wife. And she was observing the way he was doing a certain task. And she's like, this is not the way you do it. You got to do it this way. And so instead of taking it as an observation in order, to better yourself, he took it as a value statement. And he said, I'm no good, I'm worthless, and stuff like that. And that is hurt that is in someone's heart. That is the hurt that he had been through in his life. And I'm not going to get into details about what he'd been through. You can see it for yourself. But we have that in ourselves. I mean, have we done that? When, somebody's observing something that we're doing, maybe in our jobs, and we didn't do it right, they come to us and they, uh, you know, tell us what we could do to be better at it. And our, how do we take it? Do we take it negatively, or do we take it as something that is positive in order to be even better at your job? Now, our past wounds can take observations and turn them into value statements. Um, and really, it's not the other person's fault if we take it that way. They're trying to help us, but it's what we hear. It's our past wounds that dictate how we are seeing what someone is saying and what someone is doing. So, I think about my own life, with, me having a learning disability. And, if I make a mistake at something and I didn't do it right, you know, I would tear down myself. Let's say if I lost my job, like I did in the past, I would take it personally because, I would just call myself stupid. I couldn't handle the job, like, working at an insurance company. I could not understand how to do it. And I was trained and I was retrained and I still could not get it. And I took it as a value statement. I took it as me being stupid and worthless. I can't learn anything. And of course, that is the hurt that was inside my heart that was speaking. Um, and I could look at my, living situation, you know, whatever job I have or where I live. I could, you know, take it personally and say, well, it's because I'm stupid that I can't get an even better job and I can't get an even better place. So it's how we want to view things. And we have the option. Do we view things by the truth of who we are in God, or are we going to continue walking down the path through our hurts in seeing things and seeing what people say as value statements negatively? Now, we are not what our wounds dictate. You may feel rejected or you may feel a certain hurt, but it is not who you are. If if you grew up feeling rejected like I did, and you feel rejected at a certain moment, that feeling is not who you are. It is not dictating what is true, but you are accepted by God. You have priceless value. You have dignity and you have respect. So, my question is, can we take observations that other people give us as something to help us better ourselves instead of taking it negatively? So, I had stated in, another video about taking the truth of who we are in God and using it against the lies of the enemy, what we believed about ourselves. Instead of, if you have a negative situation, you know, where let's say you lost your job like I did, or somebody is, critiquing your work or whatever, if you had a habit of taking it personally in the past, is it possible that you could stop yourself at that moment, look yourself in the mirror, and say, you are not what you're feeling? You are priceless. You deserve respect. You deserve dignity. And you deserve love. Can you say that at the moment that you're feeling that negative thing? So I think when we can get into that place to where we can truly see who we are in God, we can stop ourselves at the moment that we're feeling something negative and say, my feeling is not the truth. This is who I am. And I think honestly, when we can get into that pattern of doing that, we would stop feeling that way because God has brought healing to our hearts. So I pray this video has blessed you. Thank you for taking the time to watch.